How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another session of the Let's Talk show by Interlingua. As usual, I am your host, Mike Ruiz, and I'm so glad to have you this week. Why? Because we are going to talk about something that we do in our everyday lives. There is a significant amount of people nowadays that when they wake up, the first thing they do is to check their phones, to check their social media, to check out their apps, about the content they upload, the things that they post, the apps where they interact with other people. Are you like that? And if so, which are the apps that you visit the most? Which are the apps that you spend a lot of time in? It can be Instagram, it can be Facebook, it can be TikTok, it can be even Telegram. This one in particular. Which ones do you use? Be sure to participate in the comments and also stay tuned because we have a very interesting show right now. Apparently, social media is not only just to socialize, but you can also endorse a lot of products. You can also build a community around a topic in particular, a topic of interest, a topic of a different culture, or maybe to organize a big event. And our next guests have a lot of experience in these situations. So without further ado, let's bring them out. Welcome, Marcia and Aarón. Booyah!
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Hi, everybody.
Good evening, everybody. And good to see you. And thank you so much for your participation tonight in the show. And let's talk about the elephant in the room, social media. Tell me, guys, it's not a judgment, it's not a critique, it's only to know you. How much time do you spend a day using your social networks every day? Marcia.
For me, more or less, it's kind of a big deal for me, and I wish I would be a little bit less, of course, but it's about, let's say, 8 hours, 7 hours a day, something like that. So let's say it's quite a lot, but it's also because I have my family in another place, and I need to keep in communication and so on.
That's what I wanted to hear, the many different reasons why, and we will get more into it in a while. In the meantime, Aarón, how much time do you spend on your social networks in a day, averagely speaking?
Well, I haven't measured the time I spend on social media, but I will say that it's at least 4 or 5 hours per day because I'm working, I'm taking Facebook, I'm checking everything related to social media. I can't help it.
All right. Speaking of that, what social network do you use the most and why? Marcia.
Okay, at this point, and thank you for asking me, at this point of my life, I'm sorry, I think that I'm using Instagram a little bit more, because I have been trying to get less involved in social media, but I think it's not really helping, but it's Instagram, Facebook, and I think that's basically it. WhatsApp, does WhatsApp count as social media? Because in that case, then I'm also involved in that one, but it's because my family is there, and I also use sign off. But no.
All right. What about you, Aarón?
For me, it's almost 100% Facebook.
Almost 100% Facebook.
Yes. I use time to time Twitter, Instagram, but I'm not active at all. Most of my time goes to Facebook.
All right. Actually, as I was preparing for this session, I found out that according to a survey, the app that is used the most in Mexico is actually WhatsApp. Are you part of this population? Use WhatsApp a lot? And what for? What?
Yeah, definitely. I am 100% part of this, people. I cannot deny it. That's the way in which my family connects with me. That's the way in which, like, my friends connect with me. Sometimes there are even people that are not even on Facebook anymore or on Instagram because they actually don't want to be so stuck in their phones. So what they only have is WhatsApp to be reached, and that's about it. Like either WhatsApp or just phone calls, and that's about it. So that's the way in which I can connect with like most of my friends, because most of the friends that don't have social media, they do have WhatsApp.
What about you, Aarón? Do you use WhatsApp a lot, or you use another form of communication with your close ones, friends, or working contacts?
Well, yes, I use WhatsApp. I wouldn't say a lot, but yes, I use it every day, either for communicating with my coworkers, because apparently talking in person is way too hard. We use WhatsApp. Shit. After with my friends, yes, I guess I use WhatsApp quite enough.
You have mentioned a lot the involvement of your family and friends through these apps and through these social networks. Have you met anyone in any of those apps that has become a very significant person in your life, Marcia?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. It hasn't been just once, but I have made very great friends because of that, and like people that I connect with in a way that we share the same ideals, or not exactly the same ideals, but like things we have in common or common cousins or whatever. And I have also met them in real life. So it's very interesting the things that you can get to do.
What about you, Aarón?
Absolutely, yes. I met great people in Facebook, mostly in Facebook. People that some of them I met in real life, others not yet, but definitely great people that I would love to meet in person.
Right. As I understand, you two use your social networks or your social media for recreational activities, in which we will talk about in a moment. But what about when you are not doing anything, when you are just killing time, when you are just spending time online? What kind of content do you post and share in your social media that is not related to maybe a duty that you have to do? Marcia.
Well, in my case, what I post mostly on Instagram is just like very funny findings that I come across, because I'm a very curious person. So I post pictures of like, oh yeah, this just happened, or oh yeah, this was a funny moment, and so on and so on. So it's not really, it's not really good for thought or anything like that. It's just like, hey, random things that I come across and I would think that you guys would find funny. That's about it.
Okay. What about you, Aarón? What do you use your social networks for in your
well, they usually just to share funny memes or pictures. Time to time, I post pictures that I take with my phone, but it's mostly for fun. I just want to have fun and to share funny things to my friends.
Now, something very interesting has happened to me, because I didn't expect it to happen. It was just like, poof. A friend told me about it, and I didn't think it was going to happen to me, but it did. And what I'm talking about is that I have developed a certain, I don't want to say addiction, but maybe a habit
Extinction.
that it's because this is what happens. Like, either if it's on Instagram, on Facebook, or even in YouTube, I start watching a short video. Then I go for the next one. And then I go for the next one. And guess what? I go for the next one. And the first time it happened to me, I realized that an entire hour passed of me just watching short videos in a chain. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, how did this happen? Have you experienced something like that? Or is there anything that you consider to be obsessed with in your social networks? Marcia.
Yeah, I cannot say that I am not part of this. And I think that anyone that says that they are not part of this kinds of Instagram, and it's not loophole, but it's like this Instagram, say, circles of doom in which we fall there and we have already spent like half of our day there. Anyone that says that they haven't fallen into that at some point is definitely lying. And yes, that has happened to me too. Like, many hours of my days had been gone because of that. But it's actually because, as far as I know, and I think that Aarón can also tell you a little bit more about this, it's because the interfaces of social media are designed so then we follow our instinct of scrolling up and scrolling up because it's easy, because it's something instinctive, and then we catch ourselves in this spiral, this Instagram spiral of doom in which we have to watch like God knows how many short videos and so on. So anyone that says that they have never gone through that, they are naive. I'm over.
Bravo. Thank you very much, Marcia. What about you, Aarón? Is there anything that you have become addicted to or obsessed with when you're in your social networks?
Yes, the many times I found myself scrolling on groups or Facebook groups or pages that I like, and just seeing the post after post after post after post. And when I get to notice, I already spend like, I don't know, 1 hour, 1.5 hours. But yes, what Marcia said is true. Those sites are designed to do that. They make people to spend more time.
Okay, guys. I cannot delay this any longer. It keeps coming up, so let's address it right here, right now.
Bring it on.
You guys, as I understand, you are administrators in some groups in Facebook. So, for our viewers, would you please tell me what those groups are about in your particular cases? What about you, Marcia? Starting with you.
Okay, like most, no, I mean, I think that I'm only adminning this food group. And yeah, I think that's about it because I have other groups that I'm an admin of, but the thing is that I have been like a little bit not so engaged into them. Yeah, because one of them was about Mexican recipes that I was sharing from my mom's booth and like other kinds of recipes, like, but mostly Mexican, but I haven't paid that much attention to that one anymore. But yeah, most of them, no, that the main one is about Mexican food and creating a little bit of awareness about the topic of, this is not just like food, it's also something that goes more than this and so on. Like the social aspect of it, etc.
And how is a normal day in this group? What do you guys share? What do you guys interact about?
Okay, well, I thought that was for Aarón, but yeah, I'm going to tell you. Well, first we need to like kind of tone things down. And then we need to be, I mean, I think that both Aarón and I, what we do most of the time is that we need to be checking that people are not, like, they are not being mean to other people, or they are not really, like, saying things that could be, like, denigrating to other people and so on, like, kind of calming the waters. And also, like, trying to raise awareness. Sometimes, for example, we have this kind of posts in which people post something that has actually been proven false or so. So we need to tell them like, hey, this is what happened. Actually, there is a source on this matter, and then it's actually quite fun and it's actually quite nice to be able to like even change our own perspectives when sometimes we're also in the wrong. You know what I mean? Like learning is the best thing that we can get from those places. Yeah, from those places.
And I agree with Marcia about that because as a moderator of the group, I've learned many things that I totally ignored before. It's my job for saying something to help people there or to check what they are posting. Time to time, I get to get to know something that I totally ignored, and that happens often. It's great.
So, for all of our viewers, there you have it. Social media, such as Facebook, can also be used for learning purposes and to sharing useful information, in this case, for awareness about a topic of interest, in this case, our own culture. Aarón, you are part of another group inside Facebook called Expat. Am I right?
The full name is Expat, you mean immigrant.
Expat, you mean immigrant. Can you tell me a little bit of more information on what this group is about, please?
Yes, this group is about when we try to highlight the issues brought to the global south countries by the people from the global north. Such as gentrification, our neighborhood, our food, our overall lifestyle. It's pretty much what we try to write in that group, so people might learn a bit about how it's affecting or how those persons are affecting our community.
The same question as Marcia. In a regular day, how is the interaction inside this group?
Well, as the group is still quite small, there's not a lot of interaction. Well, just pretty much about that, how the prices are increasing, how the neighborhoods are trying, getting a worse place to live. People often try to raise a problem there. We have had some members that, as they are part of the problem, they try to minimize our issues. They are often saying that it's our phones, and I have to check if that person have a point, or if I have to kick them out of the group. Luckily, that doesn't happen often yet.
Yep.
But oh my God, I mean, like, that is another aspect that, I mean, of course, I mean, nothing can be 100% good and 100% bad. You know, each aspect of life has their pros and the cons. And in this particular case, I think I'm surprised to know that actually nothing, no matter how many good intentions has, I think nothing can be saved from the toxicity of certain individuals that go through social media just to, like, to post or to comment. Yes, negative information or intentions with, with just like, to speak badly about something. Hopefully, as you say, it doesn't happen very often, and it won't happen, in any near future. But speaking about posts and speaking about the information that you guys share, can you remember? And if so, please tell me, what was the last post or the most recent post in these groups? In the case of Marcia, the one about Mexicans mad at people.
Okay, the post that I shared, I think the last one that I shared was about the chef the thing is that we were trying to raise awareness about what goes behind these kinds of things. Like, oh yeah, yeah, it's good to have Mexico it's good to have Mexico, in one of these kinds of rankings or so on. But do you know what's also going behind this? And then consider what is going on with the workers and the conditions that they're facing in order for these restaurants to be able to figure out that was what my last post was. And I was a little bit afraid of mentioning it because it's quite a hot topic.
So how was the reception?
Like many people were checking it or so. Some of them were saying like, hey, yeah, this is true. Hey, this is also happened in some other contexts and so on. So then the fact that more people can also be aware that not everything is just black and white, the best or the worst or so on, gives like a wider perspective for them. And yeah, well, it lets them know that there is not just black and white and, oh yeah, excellent, or, oh yeah, blind praise or things like that.
Okay. And Aarón, for the group Expat, you mean immigrant, can you remember what has been the recent post or one of the recent posts that have been uploaded? And what are they about?
Yeah, one of the most recent posts was about this person who happens to be an expat, of course, who was published a book. She was trying to publish a book about the reality according to her, about how it's moving to the city I live in. In her book, she was trying to undermine our problems or even blaming us about the problems caused by gentrification. So the post was about exposing her and her book.
And what was the reception with that post?
Well, in the group, the reception was had a lot of angry reactions, laughing reactions, because laughing at her, not at the post. Yes, laughing at the person who was trying to publish the book. People obviously didn't like that someone is trying to publish a book that in the end will cause troubles to the city.
All right. Which is understandable. How many, as you guys have mentioned it, I would really like to know how often do you guys visit, since you are administrators and you're in those respective groups, how often do you check them? Marcia.
In my case, I would say like about 15 times a day, because I also have things to do and I have to work and I have to go to school and I have to like keep on my everyday life, but I have tried to lower it down. Let's say more or less 15 times a day. And yeah, because I kind of try to stay in line with whatever it's going on. And I try to moderate a little bit, but I also have my the things that I need to do, and then I get very busy, and sometimes I cannot even check them the whole day because, yeah, there's too many things going on here. So, yeah, more or less like that, let's say.
What about you, Aarón? How often do you check Expat?
Well, the expat groups, I don't check it often. Maybe like 10 times per day. Well, my group, no, there's not a lot of interaction. But the Mexican Model Food Group, as I'm a moderator, I check it, I don't know, maybe 50 times per day. I check it the whole day. I get a notification on my phone. I go to check it. I'm working. I decide I'm going to check if there's a new post to approve or a new member to approve or deny the request. Many times per day.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for sharing everything that you have during this session. Unfortunately, it's almost time to wrap things up. But before we go, let's do one more thing. And this has become a classic during the Let's Talk show. And I am talking about the rapid fire session. Number 1. Do you use your social networks more for work or for your free time? Marcia.
Free time.
Free time.
Aarón.
Free time.
Best time of the day to check your social networks. Marcia.
Oh, I think afternoon or almost evening.
Aarón.
Anytime.
Very good, bro. What is your favorite app to spend time on? Marcia.
Instagram.
Aarón.
Facebook.
Do you use a particular app for your jobs? Marcia.
Yeah, Google Meet.
Okay. And Aarón?
Not really.
Not really, not at all.
No.
All right. I didn't see that one coming. Very good, guys. All right. So very good. Like I said, no right or wrong answers. This was only to get to know you guys a little bit better. And now it is time to say farewell. But thank you once again. Thank you so much for your participation, for taking time to be here with us. And you're always welcome in the Let's Talk show.
Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Bye.
Looking forward to have you guys in the near future. And for our viewers, that's it for today. We had Marcia, we had Aarón, Eric Rios was in the controls, Poncho was in charge of the edition of the session. I am Mike. Goodbye and good night. Bye.
Bye.